Well, good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. It's Monday. You know what that means. Unfortunately, the weather is not cooperating with me this morning. It is raining, and out on my screen porch, that rain hits the metal roof and it's very noisy. I can't do it out there. There will be no cigars this morning, no musical lighter. There will, however, be coffee. Excuse me while I sip my coffee. Does that work? So I figured I better do it in the house today. And it's probably just as well. Because the burning question of the day, the question that I know will elicit comments that are pages long with advice to me on what I need to do to save my life, what laboratory tests that I'm going to have done, what scans I'm going to have done, what specialists and what doctors I'm going to have to consult. Because something happened to me. Now, something happened to me about 3 weeks ago. It was no big deal. Got a little upper respiratory thing. It went away. I've been around. I can recognize these things when they hit. But boy, did I ever get advice. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to get a scan. You need to have exploratory surgery. You need to let them cut you open from the tip of your head down to your toes and look around inside. It's incredible. So I'm asking you, please today, while I appreciate the well wishes, I appreciate the comments, I got a fucking head cold. That's it. I got a fucking head cold. Not even that bad of a head cold. But I have a few sniffles, a little bit of a runny nose, had a very minor headache last night, and I got to tell you, I haven't been sick in 2 years. I was beginning to think that I was Superman, that I had this shield of immunity given me by the carnivore gods, and that nothing, no germ, no bacteria could infiltrate. I was convinced I was, ta-da, immortal. And last night, I would say, 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I started to feel, and you know this feeling that you get when a cold's coming on, you feel a little feverish, you feel a little headachy, you get a little stuffed up, your nose runs a little bit. No coughing, no congestion, just good old-fashioned head cold. And I said to myself, Mitch, where did this come from? You haven't had a head cold in 2 years. You're Superman. You're immune from head colds. You're supposed to not get these things. The burning question came into my mind. Can a healthy carnivore even get a head cold? Obviously, because I've got a head cold. It's not going to stop me. It's not going to slow me down. I feel fine. The headache went away, but I didn't sleep worth a darn last night because I had this nagging little headache, and I was up every half hour, on the half hour, all the way from 10 o'clock last night to 6 o'clock this morning. It was the longest night that I can remember. I just couldn't stay asleep. So I've got this little head cold. I think it's fine. I'm not worried about it. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to justify to anybody answering comments about the decision that I've made that this is just a frigging head cold. It doesn't warrant the involvement of the entire medical community and their incompetence. It doesn't involve getting COVID vaccines. It doesn't involve any of that stuff. My fear of dying from something that's actually serious isn't as bad as my fear of turning myself over to the medical community, where they will feed me glucose intravenously. God knows what they'll inject into me, where I won't be able to get any decent food to eat. And they actually think they know what they're doing. So, until they take me to a hospital in an ambulance unconscious, sorry, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. I have a head cold. So the answer to that burning question, can a healthy 77-year-old carnivore get a head cold? And I'm here to prove that the answer is a resounding yes. Now, where the hell did I get this head cold? That was the next burning question. I haven't had a head cold in 2 years. Why now? Is it the weather? No, I've been through weather. What was different about my life over the past few days? What was I exposed to that I haven't been exposed to? Oh, wait. Was it the sea of obese, sick humanity at the hotel where I went for the Keto Orlando Summit and had to fight the crowds and wiggle my way through between the carts with the sick, fat people? Do you think that maybe 1,000 sick, fat people were breathing some bacteria or viruses into the air? Do you think maybe? Do you think it's a coincidence that 2 days, 2.5 days after that thing ends, I get the first head cold in 2 years? I think not. And what that means for me, considering the state of the people who go to the tourist area in Orlando from all over the world, bringing God knows what with them, I think it's in my best interest, health-wise, to stay the hell away from there. Sorry, if you're going to have these conferences that have to do with health, find a place that doesn't have thousands of fat, sick people clogging every corridor, breathing out God knows what, and expose the health-conscious people that are coming to your event to that. Now, they, in their defense, they didn't know what kind of people were going to be there. And it's nothing against those people. They're not doing anything wrong. They're just living their life. They've fallen into the same trap as everybody else. They're addicted to that garbage food. They're putting on weight like it's gone out of style. They're diabetics. They're everything. And they're disease-ridden. That's why I stay out of doctor's office waiting rooms. I stay out of emergency room waiting rooms. If I have to go to one of those places, I will stand outside and wait. And a mask doesn't help either, in case you're wondering. So that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. I'm going to take it easy today. I'm going to put this video out. 5 o'clock this afternoon, I'm having an interview with Dave Mack. Dave Mack. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm sure I'll be fine for that. I may sneeze a little bit, but I'm fine. So I'll do that and just kind of stay inside, no cigars. I don't smoke in the house, and I'm not going to go out and sit in the damp out there because it's raining now. And as that storm goes up, and we never got a lot of bad rain, but as that storm goes up through, we're going to get rain dumped. No flooding, I don't think, but inconvenient. Sorry to disappoint you. I don't have a whole lot of comments from morons today. Let me see what I got here. Let me see if I just can't find you one or two. Let's see. Didn't Atkinson die of cancer from too much acid-forming proteins? Didn't Atkinson die of cancer from too much acid-forming proteins? This is one thing that concerns me in starting this. It's one of the reasons that I'm leaning towards keto more, still in my research phase. Who are these people getting their information from? What, quote, research are they reading? My answer to her was, if you're referring to Atkins, not Atkinson's, there are two different stories about his death. The most believable is that he slipped on the ice and fell and died of a head injury. But the veggie community would like everyone to think that he died from his low-carb diet. There is so much propaganda out there these days that you don't know what to believe. In my opinion, there are no biological pathways in which eliminating all carbs can cause any kind of cancer. So that was my answer to that. She wasn't a moron. She was ill-informed. I don't know if I have a lot of moron comments here, but I thought these were interesting and very telling. Here's another one. How to get fiber. What if you're diabetic? What about the fat? Last question. I have enlarged prostate, red meat, no good for that. I guess I'm out of luck. I would love to try. So here this person has listened to every vegan video out there with every bit of erroneous information and managed to give me 4 of them in one short comment. And my answer to this person was, wow, so many questions and so many misconceptions. If you're a diabetic, carnivore can reverse it. You should be eating 70 to 80% of your calories every day from fat. I can't comment on your prostate, and the minimum daily requirement for fiber in the human diet is exactly 0. I haven't eaten 1 gram of fiber in 2 years, and all my digestive issues have healed. Take that. Remember I talked about, is it really littering if you throw a cigar butt out of the window of your car because it's leaves? Do you know when I said that, how many of you think that I was actually suggesting that you start smoking cigars so that you can throw the cigar butts out of the window? Well, obviously, somebody thought that. In a lot of states, this person says, it's illegal to throw anything out of your car window. Doesn't matter if it's natural or not. Good to know. Good to know. How much time should I spend reading the law books to find out if that indeed is true? What if I open my window on a nice sunny day and a leaf that's floating to the ground happens to get sucked into my car and ends up in my lap? Is it illegal for me to take that leaf and toss it back out the window from whence it came? Will I go to jail for doing that? Inquiring minds want to know. And my answer to this person, I wasn't advising anyone to actually throw anything out of their car. It is amazing to me how far they'll go and how deep they'll dig to find fault with something I've said or prove me wrong. Okay, you're all smarter than me. Now we start here on a plethora. Mitch, is the polytetrafluoroethylene coating they use on these safe? Can you pronounce that word? Polytetrafluoroethylene. And another viewer chimed in answering that comment. Great point, absolutely not safe. Buy an all stainless steel air fryer, please. These other Teflon non-stick coating air fryers are extremely toxic and carcinogenic. Look up the dangers of Teflon. Where do these people get their information? Where do these people get their information? Teflon is not used anymore. Nobody uses Teflon. These coatings are free of all that stuff. And unless you take Teflon, unless you got a really old pan, and put it on a hot burner and let it heat up to 500 or 600 degrees, these poisonous fumes aren't going to come off of it. Stop. Stop with, you're poisoning everybody. Have you ever tried to clean a stainless steel air fryer? My friend, if you want to clean it, I have a Cuisinart here. I'll sell it to you for $25. I can't clean it. It is a nightmare. And by the time I get done cleaning it, the chemicals I've had to use to clean it with are probably 10 times more dangerous than these new coatings, which are mostly ceramic and porcelain-like, that they use on these new air fryers. Do what you want. But once one person chimes in, everybody who wants to show me how frigging smart you are jumps on this bandwagon. I said when this started, I am going to start deleting these comments. And I am. More non-stick coatings. There's one. How many times a day do I get a question? How many times a day do I get a question from you? My valued viewers. Mitch, how do you do that with the camera? How do you walk and have it look like the camera's hovering in front of you? How do you do that? It's quite an explanation to write a whole paragraph every time somebody asks me. So I made a video about it for anybody that might be interested. I made a video. I didn't think it was that off topic for my channel because I was answering questions, but not good enough for this person. You're starting to waffle about sticks and cameras. We want to talk carnivore. My answer to him was, are you kidding me? His answer to me was, sorry, no. My friend, you know who you are. If you don't like what I do, fuck off. Can I say it any more clearer than that? Just fuck off. This is Monday morning. This is what you get from me on Monday morning, especially when I got a head cold. Belligerent, ignorant, demanding, bossy assholes that want to tell me how to do what I'm doing and find fault with me. And if any of you heard the story of my last marriage, you know why I can't tolerate that anymore. This person is gone from this channel. I will never hear from them again. Sorry, no. All I ask, just be kind to me. Be kind. I try to be kind to you. And that's enough of those. This one was truly a moron. And for the thousands of you that were fascinated by that video I made about how I do that editing and use that camera, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now I can refer people to that video when they ask me the question, and I don't have to spend 15 minutes typing out an answer every time, because I answer these things on my cell phone. So that's enough for this morning. I'm going to live. That's the good news. It's not even a bad head cold, but the headache's gone. I think I'm okay. Looking forward to Dave Mack today at 5. He's not going to release it today. It's not a live stream. He's going to record it. I don't know when he's going to release it, but most of you are subscribers to his channel. Keep an eye. And I'll post when I find out when it's coming out. I will post something in the community tab with a link to it so that you can watch it. And may, after he releases it on his channel, post a copy of the interview on my channel as well. So you guys get to see it. And with that, I'm going to sit here today. I'm going to take it easy, stay dry, nurse my cold, drink a little coffee with a little caffeine because that does knock out a headache for me. And I'm amazed how good I actually feel this morning, because at 3 o'clock in the morning when I couldn't get to sleep and I was laying there with a headache, I said, I'm never going to make it tomorrow. I'm certainly never going to be able to do this Monday morning thing. But here I am, frisky as ever. So you guys, hope you enjoyed this. Hope you tolerated a few of my language indiscretions. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.